My husband is truly such a great partner. We have 2 children under 4. He splits all household responsibilities 50% or will pick up whatever slack when needed. He has a great job, cooks dinner nightly, is an incredible father to our children, we have a good sex life and he takes care of me whenever I need it, etc., etc. I could go on and on. Our marriage isn't perfect, but it's really great. However, he has one major flaw that is so major I think I may need to walk away from our marriage. He is a compulsive liar about his porn addiction and fetishes. 3 years ago on New Year's Day I found out he had been lying to me our entire relationship about porn. He had always said he didn't watch. He came clean and told me everything and put a plan in place to stop. 14 months later I found out he didn't stop even though when I asked him he'd say he did. He told me he felt ashamed and so would lie, and then he knew I'd be pissed he'd lie, so he'd continue to lie and get so deep he would just try to hide it and hope I never find out. I knew the whole time he hadn't stopped just because I had the gut feeling, but I'd still ask him about him to see if he would be honest with me. Fast forward to tonight, I used his phone to search for something as it was near me while I was nursing our son. In his search history he forgot to delete a search for Chicago erotic massage. I obviously dig a bit more and he had been on an escort site. Mind you, he's going to Chicago in 2 days for work, he does often. I'm shaking at this point and wake him up. After a deserved berating, I give him a chance to speak. He explains he never had an intent to book. It's something he has done in the past too, as it turns him on more than porn because it feels more realistic. He explains it like they are real, accessible women and he is turned on by the thought of getting off after a massage. We don't often do that unless he is massaging me and I know he likes it, so I sort of buy what he is saying, but also like WTF, is this a thing? I'm literally interrogating him to get him to slip and tell me he booked, has booked previously or was going to book. He swears he wasn't going to and never has. I checked all our accounts to see any payments or ATM withdrawals that line with dates he's traveled, there are none. Relived, but still not convinced. He's bawling at this point, trying to convince me it's a fetish and he would never engage. His other fetish he had admitted to me before was cucking, because he always felt he couldn't pleasure me enough, so he'd watch videos and fantasize about other men pleasing me. I do believe he wouldn't actually follow through with booking a massage. Call me naive, I know he's selfish, but he's not that dumb as he knows he'd lose me and our family in an instant he physically engaged with someone else. The other day I heard the universe keeps sending you the same signals until you make the bold change. I feel dumb for trying to work it out with him after years of continuing to lie, but I do love him so much. I can't imagine a world in which my kids don't have both of us to tuck them in every night. We make such a great team. I think I want to try to work on this with him rather than leave him, but I don't know. Again, this is the 3rd time he has been caught about lying about all of this stuff. I'm angry, sad, confused and hurting. Please be kind. I've been with him for 18 years, married 6. I was doing a tree job and HRN half from the house. I was working all day and didn't finish till late. As I'm driving back home, my wife texted me saying she is at the neighbors playing strip poker. Now at this time our kids was very young. I get home to find out the house is empty, minus our son in his crib and our daughter in her toddler bed. I checked on the kids, then walked over to the neighbors to see what was going on. I can see in through the door window. She was 41 and our neighbor was 64, gross. They was drinking booze, but not playing strip poker. I went back to check on the kids, then back to the neighbors. At this time I see him refill her glass with more hard liquor. But then he slips his hand down her low-cut shirt. She allowed him to play with her boobs. At this time I pounded on the door. He comes to the door and I told her to get her ass home. That I saw her allowing him grab her breast and she did nothing. I told him to please swing on me so I can legally put him into the hospital, or better yet pull a weapon on me so I can legally kill him. He knows I'm a combat infantry marine. So unfortunately he didn't do anything. She went home with me. Then started crying to her sister, telling her half-truths. Trying to make me look like the bad person. Like telling her I take the keys to the vehicle so she can't drive. But didn't tell her I take the keys when she has been drinking so she can drive drunk to get more booze. I should have just called the cops in her when I got home, shown the cops that she left the kids unattended, so then this way I could get full custody of the kids. But because I was blinded by my love for her, I didn't. And because you don't ever call the cops unless it's to remove the dead body. But I now regret not calling the cops. Hindsight is 20/20. Looking back, I see I was in the wrong for not calling the cops on her and frying her ass. My dad has cheated previously, albeit virtually, to my knowledge, on my mom a few times now. She has forgiven him since and stated that she wouldn't forgive him again. Well, lo and behold, I found out recently that he's been texting some people he knows online, and the conversations get really weird / sexual, and one of them even send them literal videos of her stripping and spanking herself. He'll try to play it cool in the messages, and sometimes there'll even be weird gaps between things he says. Like it'll be days since the last message, and without any provocation, he sent the message, "Oh, you were naughty," so it seems clear he's deleting some conversations or doing / seeing something off the app. What do I do? I've agonized over telling my mom, and I can't seemingly find the courage to do so. My dad is a master manipulator and a liar, so I know confronting him first will not work. He lies about so many things every day, and my mom just believes him or brushes it off and will always rush to defending him even when he's clearly in the wrong about something. But I know this would destroy her, and me and my partner are living in their home, not only by choice but also our financial situation doesn't give us the freedom otherwise if we were to seek a different place. I'm just so nervous on how to go about it. I've known for a bit now, and I feel so guilty every day about not telling her, but I also want to do it properly. I've thought about having her mom explain it to her with the information I have, letting her find it on his computer randomly, etc. What would you guys do, or have you done potentially in this situation? About 6 months ago, my 42M wife, 38F, sat me down after I got home from work and basically spilled her guts about an affair she had a few months prior that had carried on for a few months. My first reaction was to tell her to get the hell out of the house and start divorce proceedings, but I stopped because of our family situation, 1 kid together, and financial ties. I struggled but ultimately decided to try and make it work. My feelings have been up and down for the past few months as we try and rebuild and continue on for our family. Her affair was with a sort of coworker who was reassigned when rumors of their inappropriate relationship spread and complaints were made to his supervisor and her administration. She was not disciplined but verbally reprimanded about the situation. Apparently they would fool around at work, incredibly stupid if you ask me. I wondered if her coming home late while I watched our daughter when she was either doing something for work, working out, or with a friend was her actually out cheating. Their jobs, though different, were both top tier in terms of infidelity probability percentages. After a big blow up on my part, I told her that we can't go on unless she 100% cuts contact with him on all means of communication, social media, phone, text, etc. I thought she did, but apparently reopened communication with him without telling me. He is married with a couple of kids, 2, and pretty much made it clear he was not willing to leave his family, so there was for sure no chance of them being an official item. I came to find out that she contacted him and they met up a few months ago. Supposedly they didn't sleep together, but a friend of hers confirmed to me that they did kiss. When I found that out, I knew that things were done. I went through her phone to find evidence of her affair and some other things, and I'll just say that she doesn't cover her tracks as well as she thinks. I talked to a lawyer soon to see what my options are from here. I really wanted to know if my actions were justified. In my mind, once you cheat, you lose your right to privacy with phones and social media, as it's a way to help rebuild trust. Should have cut my losses the moment I found out she cheated? Thanks for taking the time to read this. For me, it's cathartic just being able to write it out.